What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the only podcast on the internet where you're part of the Roto, part of the chill session, so to speak. Today we are smoking on some Jesus OG. We have vape pens in the mix. We have all kinds of things going. And today joining us in our smoke circle is good old Apollo, god of the motherfucking sun.
It's good to be back. Hello, internet viewers.
And making his return to the podcast is our movie review specialist. We have Steven.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
It's good to see you back in the circle.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's so good. It's been a good solid year since we've seen Steven in the Roto.
Oh.
And today we have a very special review for you. A review for the 2017 remake of Stephen King's The It.
The It.
Woo!
Woo!
Gives me chills,
That's a
man.
scary one.
I gotta say, I really underestimated the buzz and hype for this movie. It's already breaking all kinds of records. It's not only the biggest opening in September ever, but it is the biggest opening for a horror movie ever. So this is the top of the top, highest grossing horror movies.
I was just thinking, did it outgross the original It? But then that one was never even in theaters.
Yeah, that was just a miniseries on TV.
Yeah, they definitely did a lot right. I liked seeing it. I liked the New Boys on the Block references.
Yeah, I love the references, and I gotta say, it revived my love for the It series. And we're gonna say It a lot, just so you guys know.
Stephen King's The It.
Yeah, the It. This movie is very well casted. I think the cast drives this movie to the next level, with not only the kids casting, but the casting of Pennywise himself, Bill Skarsgård.
I would have liked to have seen eyebrows as It, but you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, shit happened.
For those of you who do not know, originally Eyebrows from We're the Millers, I forget his name off the top of my head, but the kid from We're the Millers and Maze Runner, he was supposed to play It, and at first we were like, but if you really think about it, his eyebrows alone would have added to the clown facial features. I think he would have nailed it.
Would have nailed it. It would have been a creep fest.
But despite scheduling and stuff, we got Bill Skarsgård, and I think he delivered. It's a very different Pennywise than the Tim Curry one we're used to.
His very creepy smile. His eyes go different directions.
He brought his own spice to the table.
And you'll definitely leave the theater with Pennywise in your mind. He was definitely the standout of the entire movie for me.
Also, I heard that it broke some records as an opening weekend horror film.
Yeah.
Shattering records on the scene.
Whoa.
Just in one weekend, making $117 million, which is big for a rated R horror movie.
Fucking A.
Try to compete with that.
Took me a few moments to adjust at the beginning of the film from viewing It as Tim Curry, because he did such a great job in the original.
Yeah, in the first introduction, I won't spoil it too much, but it kind of off-putted me, just the way he talks. It reminded me of Scooby-Doo at first.
It was slightly Scooby-Doo-like.
But like I was saying, by the end of the movie, he is the best part. He terrifies the shit out of me. The combination of Tim Curry and this new Bill Skarsgård Pennywise makes Pennywise one of my favorite horror icons ever. I do miss the brilliant score from the first one, the carnival-esque score.
Oh, dude, I was just thinking about that, how creepy it is.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
I think that would have put this movie to the next level if they put that music in it. The music in it's not bad per se. It gets kind of loud at times. Speaking of loudness, I'm kind of glad that they don't rely on totally jump scares per se. It does get loud at times, but it's not 100% jump scares. Like they show Pennywise in creepy fashions, like when he's running really fast and gyrating. That's pretty.
It's
yeah.
jittery and very
Seizure.
yeah,
Seizure.
and, like the body contortions.
Yeah, there's some
Oh, God,
cool contortions. There's a lot of cool, disturbing scenes, but one problem with the movie, I thought I wanted to be a little more scared. Maybe as a kid watching this, I would be scared, but as an adult, I wasn't too horrified. I was just enthralled with the movie.
Actually, I was gonna say one of the kids' fears was pretty disturbing. The painting face.
Oh, that's
That
true.
could
Dude,
give me a grown man nightmares.
That fucked me up. I already have had nightmares about that.
That shit
face.
is creepy.
And at first, the CGI was kind of jarring to me, but it worked. It's just such a weird face that just looks weird. You have to see it for yourself.
Yeah, see that shit and get fucked up.
One of the things that I do have to give him props on, there's like 4 scenes that are like iconic scenes from the original film that they redo, but they amplify it by like times 10. Like Georgie in the sewer, the blood in the bathroom, the fucking, shit, there's a couple more.
The one where the kids
The
get
rock
gutted up on the
scene.
bridge.
The rock scene was more. The
an-
scene with the fat kid about to get stabbed.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
And
were
he doesn't cut him.
frightening.
He doesn't cut him in the original, does
Yeah.
he? Also, the slideshow scene.
the iconic one from the trailers.
Yeah, the original, it's just out of a fucking book with a black and white picture, but it's still pretty cool in this one. Although sometimes I think less is more with horror movies, like
Yeah.
showing the villain a bit less, like leaving it to mystery. They showed a shit ton of it, and don't get me wrong, it was fucking scary as fuck, but I don't know if it surpasses the first.
In that particular scene, he's like a huge version of himself, and I feel like he could have like killed or at least kidnapped one of the kids.
Instantly.
True.
But at the same time, he might have just been trying to instill more fear to get more powerful.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
I had to think upon that a little longer. to
Is that
figure
another?
out.
But there
is
is
that
a
another part of the lore that they don't really explain, like that he needs
like,
to
more in the book.
he needs to get more
more
powerful
detail.
with fear so that he can kill more people, or you know.
I actually kind of liked it, not necessarily all the time, but certain scenes, like with the leper, without spoiling it, I like that they kind of showed more. It was a weird scene just seeing it in the daylight, just chasing this kid.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty intense scene, and it showed it from like angles I didn't really expect. I thought it was pretty well directed, and it was an instant where they showed more, but there are some instances where they show too much. And another gripe I have is they do this way too much. There's a noise in the other room or some sort of object in the other room, and the kid or a character just blindly follows. They do that way too often. They do it like, not even kidding, 6-7 times
Yeah,
in
it
this
happens
movie.
a fucking bunch of times.
How many? These kids are brave as fuck. If I heard like little girls screaming from the drain, I wouldn't like look down
I
or.
wouldn't stick a tape measure
Yeah.
in there. What the fuck?
I would just run for the hills.
Yeah, I'd definitely be a lot more afraid being face to face with a killer clown.
Definitely, yeah.
You're just some brave goddamn childrens.
And like Steve was saying earlier, how they did recapture the brilliance of some amazing scenes. They were missing a couple key quotes that I love from the original. For example, just 2 of them. Hi ho silver away was
Yes.
not in it. And that's just a cheesy line, which I understand why they cut it, but I still love it. And then the other one was eat battery acid, you slime. They cut that, which they included, minor spoiler, they included the placebo storyline, so why not just have that? I don't understand. That's just a minor nitpick for me. Just 2 quotes I love from the original that they didn't include. But they did, like Steven was saying, top a lot of the original in certain scenes.
Another thing I liked was that it was set in the 80s opposed to the 50s.
Yeah,
how
that's
they're
true.
Doing that thing, so that when the second one comes out, it'll be modern time.
Yeah, it's going to be based in about 2015, right? And
That was
another
a smart move.
and another minor note that I noticed, they in the original it was 30 years later, now it's 27. I'm not sure if that's true to the book. I don't know which one is. That's just a little interesting tidbit.
I heard that there was a scene that didn't make it in the film.
I've heard there's quite a few that didn't make it.
one of the kids' fears was going to be Freddy Krueger.
What?
Yeah, that would have been like a little confusing, so I could see why they didn't use it.
That would have been cool.
It would have been cool. I
Damn.
think.
Then people would have been like, "So is he in this movie? Is this?"
Yeah, it would have gone
Him
over
versus
too many people's
fucking-
heads.
Yeah.
True. And it's funny you bring that up because there's already talks for an ultimate director's cut when both movies come out, and I wonder if it's going to include a bunch of added scenes to both halves. That'd be
sweet.
sick. And they say it's already going to be over 4-hour long version, kind of like the original. You could just power through both movies.
That sounds
It's
good.
going to be sick. And it's confirmed that they are going to have flashbacks, so the original cast from the kids are going to come back.
I hope
Very
that they
nice.
use some original flashbacks and like some like I hope that they're recording some flashbacks that they didn't put in the movie that we already saw, to where it's like still the kids but like other creepy things that like
other creepy scenes.
Yeah, they just like connect the two movies even more.
Yes.
They definitely will. And casting is key once again for the sequel. They need brilliant casting for the kids to the adults. There's already talks that even like Jake Gyllenhaal might be involved.
Dude.
That would be a personal
He's gonna
dream
play
come
the
true.
dweeb, right? Or
Yeah,
he does.
Bill or whatever.
That would be a banger.
Not Bill. I thought he was.
It might be
the
Bill.
medicine kid.
It could be any of them, to be honest. I could see him.
Eddie,
I could
thought.
even see him being Eddie. I could see him being the Stranger Things kid. I could honestly see any of them. But he's just rumored. That's just a rumor going around. It's not confirmed yet.
Do you have any like guesses that could play one of the kids? Any
Shit.
suggestions?
I don't have a fucking clue.
Scarlett Johansson should play the chick.
Just because
I
she's hot.
think
That's a-
Beverly.
Jay Baruchel, the guy from This Is the End that sees the blue light. I think he could play a good Richie.
What,
Like
dude?
the
Dude,
TV
yeah.
host or like stand-up
Dude.
comedian grown up.
That's such an obscure reference,
It
but I
is,
love it.
I
like-
fucking hate that guy, but you know.
I think he would be a good adult version
He
of
would
that
be a
kid.
good one.
Especially, doesn't he just off himself
Just
right
give
away?
him the same
Oh.
square
That's not a
glasses.
spoiler. I haven't seen it. I've just seen the original. So.
Yeah, that's just what happens in the original.
He offs himself in the bathtub.
What a bitch.
But just think about that scene just for a second. He offs himself in the bathtub. The worst case scenario for facing it is you just die. So he just
what did you accomplish?
he just skips the middleman, just kills himself. Why?
There's no chance against the
He just accepts there's no chance. I'm going to
fucking
die.
over.
I'll just die right now. The sequel for me is one of my least favorite parts of the original. So I think they have a lot of chances to improve upon the sequel from the original miniseries. I think they can make it even scarier because once they turn adults, the scares really go down in the original, and it kind of gets a little boring for me personally.
I wonder if they
And,
have
of course-
new fears as adults opposed to being a kid.
Yeah, I'm hoping for new fears. When they finally unveil it, it's way more scarier than like the CGI or puppet, whatever the spider was from the original.
Dude, are you kidding me? I want Spider Puppet back, man. That's
No.
fucking awesome.
I don't
wonder
want.
how they are going to do the ending, but they better not fuck up. Don't fuck up.
I think it's a good chance to really improve upon because it's really hard to top the classic of the original first part because that's so beloved. Second part, not so much. Here's your chance to really shine.
Hell yeah.
And using our unique marijuana scale, we're at the bottom of bottom. You have resin. That's the black residue you scrape after you smoke your bowl. It's the
It's garbage.
It's exactly. It's complete garbage. The weakest high you can get, usually for people who hate themselves. Then you got mids. Your typical ditchweed gets you a good buzz, good time killer, but could use
It's
some
okay.
improvements. Yeah, it's just okay. Then dank gets you nice and baked. It means the movie is exceptional. Most people are going to get their fix, but it could have used a tiny bit more work.
It's awesome.
Then you got wax. That gets you so baked that you start seeing killer clowns of yourself. You start floating, as for a matter of fact. And it's a guaranteed perfect score, guaranteed high.
It fucks you up. It's awesome. It's amazing.
And on that scale, personally, I'm going to give It a dank plus. Because although it's missing some elements from the original, the film takes some bold risks and it gives you some awesome scares. Plus, I'm excited to see it again in theaters the first time I'm seeing a horror movie twice. And I'm even more excited for the sequel than I thought I would be going into this.
Me as well. My rating, I'm gonna have to give it a dank. Just a straight dank. Because it was dank and I loved it. But it could have done better in a couple areas. But, you know.
Especially scares.
True.
If I was truly scared during the film, I probably would have gave it a straight wax. But since there's no scares, it's only a dank plus for me. Because the acting was so phenomenal. Same with the directing.
I don't know if Roger would agree with you on those scares. He was about to shit himself right next to me. in the
It's
theater.
true. Yeah, he made it known.
I have to give this film, personally, Stephen King's The It.
2017.
Let's give it a wax. Okay, I'll tell you.
I'll
We
tell
got-
you.
We got 3 You get 3 strikes to hit it out the ballpark for me. Not only is it hard enough to be a good horror film in this day and age,
True. It's the best horror movie I've seen in years.
breaking box office records in theaters. So many people
It's
went to
popping
see this. We couldn't even make it into the drive-in. The line was so long.
It was backed up for miles.
True.
We had Roger crammed in the trunk.
Roger was in our trunk for a good hour while we were waiting in line to get into the 49er drive-in, and it sold out an hour before the movie even started.
Exactly. We got there on time.
We got there an hour early, and it was already sold out pretty much.
We were like 5 cars away from getting in.
Strike 2. Remakes suck. I fucking hate remakes.
True.
This
the
was
most
a good
part, yes.
film. This was a good remake film. I didn't hate it. I loved it. Strike 3. I would go back to the movies. I would pay for a ticket to go see it again. I've already seen it.
And that's rare for Steven.
Yeah,
True.
The rewatchability capabilities on this film. I'm gonna be watching this movie right after I watch the original. It's gonna be like a back-to-back, like, Lord of the Rings box set. You watch the first half and the second half of the original, and the first half and the second half of the remake.
Oh.
Then you fucking read the book in between, and we have a whole discussion about it.
Fuck yeah, I'm excited, dude. And for some reason, I just thought, because Steven's hitting his vape pen, he's not only our movie review specialist, he's our wax specialist as well. So whenever Steven's on board, that's when the wax is hitting the train.
Oh, fucking yeah. It gets a wax and a pen.
Damn.
Holy shit.
But yeah, that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Stay tuned. Next week we have a double feature review coming for Kingsman Golden Circle and Lego Ninjago. It's going to be a hell of a good time. Steven, our movie specialist, will most likely be back. And if you have time, please visit our Kickstarter page at stonermanshow.com. There you can find information on our show and how you can help us fund an animated episode to show you guys the awesomeness of Stonerman.
Just click it. It takes 2 seconds. Just
Heck
do it, just
Plus, there's glass-shattering memes and all kinds of different things that and all kinds of things that stoners can enjoy. And as always, stay lifted, my friends.
Goodbye, Internet. It's been fun. I hope you enjoyed.
Well, what had happened was...
I'll catch you guys on the flippity flop. That is the tunage.